Hi, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to day 20 of Breakfast in Biology. We're so happy that you're here. It's nice to see you bright and early on this Tuesday morning because, ironically, you have Friday and Monday off. Bright and early on this Tuesday morning. Come on, will that stop? Ironically. All right. So, should we get right in the roll call, Mrs. Smith?
Sure, sounds good. Let's go up to the top and start. Elijah was here first today. You Cross, Eli, Darius, Zuli. Who else is here? Scrolling down. Lots of talking in the morning, so it's hard to gotta get down to the bottom. Let's see. I see Cody, Emily, Gabe, Jake, Dalton, Maya, Mike, Cody, Jeffy Jeff, it's Cohen, Michael Jackson, Jessica, Diana, Annie, Carissa, Alexi, Haley, Supreme Ginger, Hannah, Joe Biden, Audrey, Alexis, Finley. Did I miss any that you're seeing down in Radhika?
Deanna, Reagan,
Abby,
Gladys. Awesome. It's so nice to see these names. All right. So enough about that. Hey, unfortunately, guys, we apologize. No guest today. It just didn't work out. But that's okay because we want to keep it short today because we have something we'd like you to do. And we're trying to keep the amount of time we have to spend on this stuff short. So if you just tune in every day and you do what we ask us to do or what we ask you to do, you can move on pretty quickly, right? You can get done with it and we can get you the information that you need and all will be good. So, Mrs. Smith, I'm going to start talking about this and we'll ask questions together. I guess we both have to keep our eye on the chat right now because hashtag troll alert. But just, shout me out if we need to do that. I'm sharing my screen. I guess we started with sharing the screen. You can see me doing all that and deleting trolls or whatever. Great. So let me get right over to this. So we wanted to start today with this little animation. And you're actually going to use this animation. So watching how we use it and stuff is important. Let me hold on one second.
And we're hoping that this will kind of help a little bit with the mutation stuff. I had a couple of questions here and there from some people about mutations over the long weekend. I am going through this morning. And as Mr. Suter's doing something, I want to remind you all that assignments are due. And so at this point, if they're not sitting in my mailbox and they're not sitting already shared with me, that we said it's at a 50% at this point. So for those people that have not turned things in through that translation worksheet, if it's not sitting there waiting for us to go and grade, then, you know what I mean, you're going to a 50% on that assignment. And, we've given you lots of time to do it and been, I think, pretty quick in responding and helping people who have reached out. So, like I said, except for the few of you that were asked questions over the long weekend and, you know what I mean, I had not signed on to my email, so I will get back to you this morning. But, you got to be making sure that you're doing stuff. Now, that doesn't include the mutations worksheet. That's why we're still going over it. But
that will be 50% probably starting Wednesday.
Right. So...
All right, yeah, and to what Mrs. Smith said, I mean, if you're thinking, well, if the best I can get to 50%, I'm not doing it. Well, it's a pass-fail class now, right? It's pass-fail marking period, which means you have to have enough to be passing, which means, yeah, you still have to do it. So, all right. Did I cut you off? Do you have more? I'm sorry.
No, I was just trying to fill the gap.
All right. Well, I think we're all right for now. So let's get into this animation. I'm just going to show you how it works. And as I show you how it works, we're going to ask you some questions. So be prepared to type. Ready, set, here we go. This is a piece of DNA. We'll give you that one. All right. And so the first thing I'm going to do is click on this button, transcribe. And I'm sure when I do, Mrs. Smith will probably have a question for you.
All right. What is that red line showing up? What is that representing? That red line with those nucleotides attached. What is that representing? Red line. What is that representing? mRNA. I'm seeing that from, it looks like Elijah was first. Elijah first for mRNA, I believe, and a lot of people following. Nicely done. So that is mRNA that is being made.
Okay, so that was transcription. You guys are right. We made mRNA. So after we make mRNA and transcription, that mRNA is going to leave the nucleus and go where? To what structure is it going to go to? I asked the question. Boom, boom, boom. What's the structure it's going to?
Annie Smith with ribosome.
Good.
Nicely
So
done.
we get out there. I'm going to hit the next button here. It says translate. So we're going to translate this, and you see the big ribosome there.
So what are those green things? What are those green things? Ooh, Annie Smith again. Annie Smith again. tRNA.
But lots of people in there. Oh,
Yeah.
Maya, home base.
I know, lots of names, lots of
I
things.
saw just as a side note, I saw the Hanover High School news today. So if you guys didn't know, they did run the news today. And I think if you go out on Twitter or you check your email, you can see the news for the day. And I clicked play, and when that reel started rolling, the music for the thing, it just made me miss my home. Like I should be sitting in home base hearing that with all my kids. Almost made me cry.
I know, and Noah's been like backing off on his Nighthawk news because he's been flipping over, and they started doing Berm news now. So, you know, I'll try to get him to do one every once in a while because I know some of you have told me that you've missed it. But yeah, he's busy doing stuff for his school now too.
So we have this thing spinning. I'm going to stop it from spinning. And if you hit this little button that says stop down here, it will stop spinning. And I'm going to point. There's these little circles in here. One says LEU, one says GLY. What are those little circles? What are those little circles there? Oop. I think Eli got it first.
That's what I'm seeing. Eli. Amino acids. Nicely done.
All right. Got a question over there?
So all together, you saw that you had this chain of amino acids, but then it kind of got folded up. So after it's folded up, what is it?
Dum, 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 dum.
But it's folded, Cohen. So we're going with Eli's protein. So yes, it's a polypeptide chain. True. But once it's folded, then it officially becomes a protein. Okay. So a little bit tricky there. And that's kind of the difference between a polypeptide chain and an actual protein is the fact that then it's folded.
All right. So what's really kind of cool about this animation is that there's a button up at the top that says edit DNA. And if we go and click on that, it brings up the original sequence, which you can highlight, copy, and paste. And it brings up the edited sequence. And we can change that. And so I could remove all of those. So we just have two codons, right? And hit apply. And now look what happened to my amino acid. So my protein. Our protein will change based on how we edit that piece of DNA. And so if I put a whole bunch of T's in, just for fun, right? All right, it will change based on that. So what we have in Moodle under week 5, and I just jumped over here so I can click show, is there's a little mutation activity that looks like this. And right here at the top, it says access the simulation. And so if you click on that link, it will take you to that simulation. And it asks you some questions about that simulation. First thing it has you do is label some things, and that should be a breeze. We just did it with you, and you seem to know it. So it's going to have you make some changes and ask you some questions. So we're still talking mutations. We're figuring this sheet 10 to 15 minutes tops. That's on the outside. So we've now talked for 10 minutes and 22 seconds. So if we end this in the next minute or two, we're still giving you that 20 to 30 minutes of instruction that we promised, right? We're still trying to keep it kind of short. So we don't want to go too much longer today. We're trying to keep it short so you have time to do this. We'd like you to do this tonight. And then we'll see you tomorrow in the live stream again. Do you have anything else that you need to add or would like to add here?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, you can go into Moodle on both of our pages. You can grab the mutation worksheet. Make sure you check how you're supposed to label it. It still kills me that some of you cannot change the number sign to the appropriate period. And what really kills me now is you're labeling the wrong periods. People in period 7 are telling me they're in period 8. Like you guys forget what period you had bio.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right. So that's where we're going to end it. Thank you all for coming today. I just want to give you guys a big thank you and a shout out. I did notice in the beginning of this, we have our little trolls, right, that are coming in, and we appreciate all of you just ignoring people that are popping in and trying to make this whatever. So once again, you guys are showing how great of students you are and constantly living up to those high standards that you've set for yourself, I guess. So with that, stay safe, wash your hands. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow.